Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom. And giving honor and praise unto the Most High, the Creator and Maker of heaven and earth. My name is Yeshaya Israel of the tribe of Dan of the house of Israel. This particular presentation or speech, short speech, if you will, brothers and sisters, is not intended, brothers and sisters, to be long. Nonetheless, family, we want to sit there and address a particular matter that is on a brother's spirit. I sent this to some people, brothers and sisters. For those who are interested, you can sit there and watch it either currently or later on when it's uploaded, brothers and sisters. We do ask you all to comment, like, share, and subscribe as well, brothers and sisters, as take a look in the description of the video, brothers and sisters, to see the matters of things that a brother is presenting to the people. We hope again and pray that everybody is well and will be better. We ask you all, as the custom, is to comment, like, share, and subscribe, brothers and sisters. As I do not profess to know everything, I am open to constructive criticism. My telephone number that I can be reached at, as you see across the screen, is 908-587-4841. This is on the platforms or the Facebook page, Yeshaya or Sadana, as well as the YouTube, Mora Yeshaya history lessons, as well as Mora Yeshaya Torah lessons. And again, this is not going to be long. We hope and pray that everybody is well and will be better. Before we get into this particular matter, we are going to say that a brother does not have a problem, as some may have a problem or an issue negatively when anyone, brother or sister, elder or so on, may sneeze. It's been a recent discussion that I've been having and say, oh no, we don't have to say bless you. There is no reason in the Hebrew culture, in the Israelite way, to meticulously and purposely not say bless you. When you read in Deuteronomy 28, the first verses before verse 14, it says, blessed shall you be here, blessed shall you be there, blessed shall be this, and blessed shall be that. So when you go in the book of Psalms and it says, we bless you in the name of Yah, we bless you out of the house of Yah. And it also goes on to say, blessed be the name of Yah. When we say prayers, and many times it generally may start as saying, Baruch atah Yah Eloheinu, which means blessed art thou, O Lord our God, in the English. So what then, with all of those matters of blessing people, saying that the Most High's name is blessed, and the Most High speaking through the prophets about blessing his people, where we get the concept that it should ever be a time in which we meticulously will not say bless you. The customs of the people are vain, as we pointed out in a presentation about Jeremiah chapter 10. So if a particular group or people say, quote, bless you because of a particular reason, that is his or her particular reason. Our way, our book, our culture, our manners shows us that there is no time frame to not say bless you. So if somebody sneezes or coughs or somebody's going to sleep or waking up, we are not able to show where one should not say bless you. When we're talking about the matter in Ecclesiastes about being not overly righteous, lest you destroy yourself, you never know what kind of energy that you're giving forth by telling somebody bless you. So why do we have a reason to meticulously go out of one's way to not say bless you? Or in certain cases when somebody says bless you, well, I'm not going to sit there and say thank you. Why not? Why choose to be as if we were raised with no upbringing that was morale, brothers and sisters? Because the writing of many books, there is no end, and much study is a weariness to the flesh. What does that mean? When it says much study is a weariness to the flesh, that means that is, for the lack of a better term, a person that's an educated fool. When everything is, I read this, I read this, I read this, I read that, and not understanding the principal book, the scriptures, where it says, the fool believes every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going, and Proverbs chapter 14, as well as Proverbs chapter 15. So it is not of our custom to cite a book that says, don't say bless you, or it is, quote, pagan to sit there and say such, when we have already discussed in our scriptures about blessing people and so forth and so on. You understand? So if a person wins an award and it became a custom to say bless you for it, but that person's custom is weird, it doesn't infringe on my custom and still saying the same thing because I know in whose name I'm coming in. For instance, some people may say that what is today called Saturday is not the Sabbath, because in the time of the Romans, they used what is today referred to as Saturday to worship pagan gods and so on. Their custom of the Romans has no infringement on the custom and culture of the Israelites. We still, as Israelites, worship the Most High on the Sabbath, regardless of what another nation calls it in that said particular time. House of Israel, the people to whom I'm reaching out to in this particular case, we've been called the N-word, Negro, and other ones. We've been called black, which we know is a color. We've been called by 2 different continents. We've been called by being West Indies. We've been called Afro such and such. So with all of those bywords, does that infringe on the true name and nationality and culture of our people? No. Does that infringe on the true ethnicity of our people? No. Case in point, and it's not to be disrespectful. We have, as Israelites, our culture, our ways already. You understand? So if that is the case, the Constitution and its amendments in many cases doesn't work for us, because our laws, our Constitution, which has no amendments in it, come from the Most High. Our right, R-I-G-H-T, and our rights, R-I-T-E-S, come from the Creator of heaven and earth. So there is, brothers and sisters, no reason, again, to meticulously not say bless you at any given time, whether somebody sneeze or otherwise. So without any further ado, and I am saying this in light of the house of Israel, not saying that this is not to people who do not claim of the house of Israel, but this is directly toward people of our people who know and claim themselves as the house of Israel for a particular reason, because we don't want to be overdoing it, being extra in a case that's unnecessary. So, brothers and sisters, without any further ado, let us pull up the PowerPoint and get into this particular subject, if we will. Thank you for that. Shalom, giving honor to the Creator. Now, in the scriptures, it said, blessed be the name of Yah from the rising of the sun until the going down of the same. Does that mean that when the sun is down that we don't praise the Most High? Of course it doesn't mean that. You understand? But now, again, if a culture, brothers and sisters, promotes night worship or worshiping at night, does that mean that we don't praise the Most High at night because of what another people do at a said particular time? Deuteronomy chapter 12 lets us know that Israel is not supposed to look to the ways of other nations and then say, through those ways, we're going to serve the Most High. So if we're not supposed to look to the ways of other people and say in that same manner we will serve the Most High, why then do Israelites sometimes take the doctrine, ideology, philosophy of another people and then say, well, I'm not going to say bless you, or I'm not going to sit there and say that, when we have already pointed out that Psalms talks about bless you in the name of Yah. Deuteronomy 28 before verse 14 speaks about different blessings. And again, there is no reason why to meticulously and purposely, if you're told bless you, be it sneeze, cough, waking up, or going to sleep, for you to deliberately and meticulously not say thank you for such. Most of Israelites, many Israelites, I may say, claim tribe of Judah. Shalom to the elder Enos Ben Levi. How are you doing? Most Israelites, many Israelites claim the tribe of Judah. In Hebrew said as Yahudah. Did you know that in Hebrew, the word for thanks is Todah? And there is a connection between the word Todah in Yahuda? What did Leah say when she gave birth to her fourth son? This time will I praise Yah. Odeh, I will praise. It comes from the root word hodah in Hebrew, which is a hifil stem, which means to give thanks or praise. So when we say todah, meaning thanks, it is also an appellation from the Hebraic word meaning to praise. So what is wrong with that, brothers and sisters? So when we read in Proverbs, let others praise you and not you yourself. You don't have to thank yourself. It is up to other people to do it, and it's for you to do it. I recently spoke with my princess, and I told her that people need not have the opinion or the thought of saying, some people think they're entitled, then you're not entitled. Yes, you are. But you're not only entitled, you are also obligated. What do I mean by that? You are entitled to respect. You are entitled to understanding, and you are entitled to honor. At the same token, you are obligated to give respect, you are obligated to give understanding, and you're obligated to give honor. So as much as you are, yes, entitled and have a respectful and honorable feeling of entitlement, so should you, and you need to have, at the same token, the obligation to do the same. It's not just a one-way street where you take and you never give. But the people, and I speak in general, when they say to others, you think you're entitled and you should not have that feeling of entitlement, are the people who do not feel obligated to give you love, to give you honor, and to give you understanding. Because he or she doesn't never intend to give it, they will sit there and try to tell others that he or she is not deserving of it. And that's a problem. You know why Israel, and I address this to the house of Israel, of our people laying claim to the house of Israel, is because it says, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. That's in the book of Zephaniah. We also read, brothers and sisters, that it is a good thing to give thanks unto Yah, good and thanks in that particular part, and to sing praises to thy name, O Most High. That's in Psalms 92. Again, it says it is a good thing to give thanks to the Most High and to sing praises to thy name, O Most High. Don't let nobody silence you. Oh, you're too loud. Sing praises to Yah is what this book is saying. When you're doing that, you're not doing that to man or woman or child. So, brothers and sisters, how do we deal one with another in this particular matter and what we're talking about? On the timing of Yom Kippur, that is to say of the Day of Atonement, the high priest makes atonement for him and his house. What can we gather from that? One, you got to deal with home first. Two, just because you're the high priest, HaKohen HaGadol, the high priest, does not mean that you will never be exempt from sinning. Sometimes people put others, well, you should have never sinned, or you should never sin because you're this, that, or the third. But yet we read in the book, the scriptures, brothers and sisters, which is not a religion, that it speaks about the high priest making an atonement. Now, if the high priest was expected to be sinless, why would he need to make atonement? Because he, or in this case, he only being the high priest, is a human. Now I want to emphasize something else. All Israel, male and female, are priests by default. But that default is by obedience. What do I mean by that? The house of Aaron priesthood is through the line of males. But in I must say, not but in Exodus chapter 19, it says, if you keep my laws, you will be a Malkut Kohanim or Maleket Kohanim, a kingdom of priests. Shalom, sister Ikozi Benyamin. So what are we pointing out in this particular case, brothers and sisters? And that is this. If Exodus 19 is telling us that Israel is a kingdom of priests in keeping the laws, women, females, are also expected to keep the laws. So in that case, yes, she is part of that priesthood in that case, but not say of the priesthood of Aaron. Nonetheless, while we're citing the book and letting the book speak for itself, Leviticus 21, brothers and sisters, where it distinctly gets into saying about the daughters of the priest and what they can eat that is given to their fathers. So in the Israelite culture, it's about one helping the other. If I got, you got. If I got, you have. If you have, I have. The Israelites take care of the priesthood. Not to be funny or disrespectful, like in the movie Malcolm X. Remember the part where it says, you know our people, they like their leaders to be prosperous. Well, in the house of Israel, it goes into saying what? That the Israelite priests are taken care by the Israelite people. And in the Levitical order of the priesthood, they are getting tithe, but they give a tithe of the tithe. So what do we gain in that? It's always about what you coming with in giving. What are you always coming with in giving? It's not just I take, I don't give, I don't give. That's not the culture of the house of Israel. Saul, before he met the prophet Samuel, was saying, what shall we bring to this person? And my mother, may she rest in peace, told me it is a common thing among our people in the West Indies. My mother not even being from the West Indies, but rather being coming out of Brooklyn. She stated it is a popular thing when you go to somebody's house that they offer you something. It's a popular thing in the South back in the day in the United States. When you go to someone's house, you offer something, you give a gift. So if you take what Imam, may she rest in peace, was saying, that it is common in the West Indies, when you go to someone's house, they have something for you. And if you take what our people were doing in the Southern United States, when you go to somebody's house, you have something to offer. What can we gain from that? Give and take. You bring something, you take something. You take and give. That's building a culture. Now, how does that tie into what we're talking about? The mentality of I don't have to give. I don't have to say, bless you, because somebody who don't care about you, him, her, or the third, in the writing of many books, there is no end, stated, well, when people sneeze, it became accustomed to say, bless you, because they say your heart stops, so you shouldn't say it. Whether your heart stops or not for that second, where are we told as Israel, the prince of the power, striving with Elohim and man and surviving? Whenever one has an understanding of what Israel means, why would we have a reason to not say bless you? What can we logically point out in the Tanakh, in the so-called Old Testament, where it says don't bless you or say don't bless you? I'll wait, and it's not to sound arrogant or belligerent. Where are we told to make sure you don't say bless you? The book of Joel, brothers and sisters, in the scriptures, it says, repent before the most. Shalom, my lady Sarai. It says in the scriptures, in the book of Joel, repent, because you never know if the Most High leave a blessing behind. We want that. We want that communication. When the Most High did not speak to Israel through the prophet Jeremiah for 10 days, for the lack of a better term, Israel lost their mind. That lack of communication. Not to get too personal, I had to communicate with my job earlier today. I'm on vacation. I extended the vacation, not to get too personal, and I took personal days. Oh, when you're coming back. I didn't take off ever since y'all New Year's came in so-called January, except for one day. You gave me the PTO for my birthday, which you don't sit there and give. You allowed that. But for the timing of when the holy timing of Passover came in last week, I was on vacation. I'm still on vacation, not to get into my personal business. And I'm taking my personal days, even if you don't grant the vacation. Now, had I not done that communication, they would have been blowing my phone up right now as I'm trying to do this live. Because it's 8:58 going on 9 a.m. Where are you at? You didn't keep us posted. So I'm using that as an example about the importance of communication, brothers and sisters. Let us speak one to another, and let us speak life to one another. There's a saying going around that says, if you have a reason, if you don't have to have a reason to hate, then you don't have to have a reason to love. Because you got some people who just hate for no reason. You understand? Case in point, I don't like this type of food. Did you ever eat it? Well, yeah, but then it was nasty then. So, I really, I didn't like it. But how do you know that same type of food seasoning was the reason why you didn't like it? But because you painted that food with a broad brush, you sat there and classified all food of that nature as bad or untasteful or something you just don't like. Is that fair to the food? Absolutely not. Again, another point in emphasizing this, giving honor to the Most High, we want to point out the supreme intelligence of the universe, Yah Elohim, the Lord our God, the one who makes your travel safe, gives you peace, day or night. Why do we have a feeling to say, I shouldn't say bless you? There are people who died coughing. There are people who died sneezing. Why not say bless you? If somebody were to write something that says, in our way, which we may say is pagan, we will sit there and say bless you for turning lights off. Well, when we say bless you for turning lights off, we as Israelites shouldn't say that. Why not? Why not say, may you be blessed when the light is off, so that way you won't stub your toe when you're walking? Why do we, us, have a general concept at all as the house of Israel to purposely not say bless you, or if told to do so, you think someone is a pagan mindset and not say thank you? If you think the person doesn't understand the concept that's been taught, take a respectful advantage of that and teach that person, like, okay, when you say bless you, I'm gonna say bless you back. Bless you back, my brother or sister. But when I say bless, I'm talking about from the Most High God. That may spark that person's curiosity. But if you keep your mouth shut from let his praise be in your mouth, like the book of Psalms says, and you deliberately being quiet because you read a book with no understanding of what the author was conveying, then what are we doing? You're taking a book written by someone else who could care less about you, your mother, your father, your brother, or your sister. There are people, when I sit there and go online and say, may my mother rest in peace, who knew my mother. I'm friends with the people in the congregation DCB, which is based in New York. Some of their leaders and chiefs knew my mother. I knew some of their elders. I'm not going to mention any names as I didn't tag them and so forth and so on. But some of the men who do teach up in that congregation, DCB, Da'at, knowledge, Kakma, wisdom, be not understanding, knew Gever Nifla, my mother, who taught me about manners. Let me give a case in point. Mommy being old school. Somebody comes on the bus, and I was not feeling the best. I was about maybe, I would say 19 or 20. So you could say a grown man or becoming one. Because in Israelite culture, 20 years old and upward of men. So I'm like maybe 19 or 20, maybe around that ballpark, maybe late 18, but in that general late teens, very early 20s, right? I am on the bus sitting across from my mother. For those who know New York, it's the Q85 bus that runs through Rosedale, sometimes from Green Acres into Rochdale, and then going into Parsons, the train station, for those who know that vicinity. Right? And an elder got on the bus. So again, I was not feeling my best. And my mother gave me what elders would call the look. Like, you're supposed to be getting up. And I'm there like, oh, I'm not feeling well. And then the look turned to my mother sitting forward. Like, the next move is going to be my hands on your face, son. I raised you to rise before the hoary head. Why are you not getting up for your elders? So I just stood up, and I did have a little stank attitude. And it became a look again like, you better fix that. My mother didn't say a word. Everything was just nonverbal communication. From the look to the sitting forward to when I did get up with a little stink attitude, like your attitude will fall to the floor of the bus before you do. Don't come at me like that. I say all of that to say, may she rest in peace, the person who taught me about what honor and decency was. Besides the teachers in my life, besides the uncles in my life, brothers and sisters. What am I conveying and pointing out for edification purposes, if we will, is this. If I can be heard well and people are in good spirits, please type in the number 4. If I can be heard well and people are in good spirits, please type in the number 4. Again, this is on the platform, Facebook profile, Yeshaya Author Danite, as well as the YouTube, Mora Yeshaya Torah Lessons and Mora Yeshaya History Lessons. We spoke earlier, brothers and sisters, about giving thanks and showing manners and respect, if we will, right? And again, what can we point out for edification purposes? Toda, my brother Elder, or Elder Brother Enos Ben Levy, thank you. What can we point out in that particular manner? Is this. The high priest, again, on the timing of Yom Kippur or the Day of Atonement, they make atonement for themselves and their house. So Israel, while none of us are perfect, as I stated in the description of the video, I'm not perfect. What do we want to point out, if we will? Don't expect a man or a woman, because he or she has the last name Yisrael by choice or by birth, understands himself or herself as an Israelite, that he or she is Tamim or perfect, or Tamima or perfect for the female. If the high priest is told to make atonement, that means the supreme intelligence of the universe, Yah, knew that the high priest would sin. Leviticus teaches us, it says, what? English says, if you sin. Correct me if I'm wrong, the Hebrew says ki, which means in this case, when you sin. Not so much of if you sin, because you're going to. It's how you deal with it in that particular matter. How do you deal with it as how to make restitution? Not just, oh, if I stole something, which is a sin, say I'm going to pay it back. That's not the only type of restitution. Sometimes there's emotional restitution, mental and or spiritual restitution. How do you repair that breach in, say, that particular case? How do you sit there and respectfully strive for what you want and showing the Most High, like Israel could and should have done, for the lack of a better term, should, because there's no Hebrew word for should, when they had what you call the Second Temple era. Israel in the old days had a king before the temple, because you had Saul, then you had David, and then you had Solomon who built the temple. By the time Israel came back from the Babylonian captivity, you had the temple, but there was no Israelite king on the throne. What can that too show us? Is that your spirituality, your temple, is made to go above your monarchy or your kingship before, as Solomon said, all the days of your vanity. Your spiritual base is supposed to be first before you start talking about let us have a king. And in the era of the Second Temple, one of the things to point out when you go into Malachi, Daniel, Ezra, Esther, Nehemiah, Haggai, and Zechariah, and so on, during the time of what is referred to as the Second Temple era, in time frame, ERA, when I say era, not ERROR, is this. One of the charges was not about idolatry. They was not worshiping the Persian gods or taking the Babylonian gods that they got from there and then bringing them back into Jerusalem. That was not the charge. The charge, mainly in the Second Temple timing, was you don't treat your people right. Men, you don't treat your wives right in the book of Malachi. Brothers, you don't treat brothers right inside the book of Zechariah. That was the main thing, how you dealt with your wife, your children, your husband, your brothers, your sisters. How you dealt one with another was one of the major things in the Second Temple era that the prophets and the scribes spoke on. Devise not evil against your brother in your heart is what Zechariah talks about. correct me if I'm wrong, in Malachi, it talks about the covenant of the tribe of Levi and how they had a relationship with the Most High and how the Levites, for the lack of a better term, dropped the ball. But then you're supposed to pick it back up and continue and carry that baton / ball / pedigree to the next generation. That was something that Israel was supposed to do. So, brothers and sisters, when we read in things like the Apocrypha, and it speaks upon one who does not accept the matter of one atoning, you did your part. Brother, sister, elder, or child, you did your part. Because we can't go before the Most High having only one life and think that the Most High don't sit there and see that you don't purposefully and respectfully forgive your brother or sister. Because the things in the scriptures that the sons of Jacob did to their brother Joseph is much worse than most of us do to one another. They stripped him, laid hands on him negatively, and sold him. And Jacob still told him, forgive your brothers for what they did to you. So, brothers and sisters, when we look at words that Israelites use, such as salak, as forgive, zadak, righteousness, kipir, from kapara, essentially to make atonement. Why do we think that we can come before the Most High and not have a clear mind? What do I want to point out? A clear mind is different than your mind being clear. Because when you hold with your mind being clear or my mind being clear, I'm still coming with my mind. You still coming with your mind. But if you can sit there and have a clear mind, the my and the your and the possession of what one already came with fled. When you turn that page in the chapter in that book, it's a blank page. It's not Mora Yeshaya teaches. It's not sister such and such speaks. It's not elder such and such speaks. So again, there is a difference, brothers and sisters, between my mind being clear or your mind being clear and having a clear mind. You can't come with preconceived thoughts and expect to gain understanding, brothers and sisters. So let's continue in this and what we're talking about. daynightpublications.com. Good morning, Shalom. This short speech is about a matter I noticed in difference between NC, which is North Carolina, where I'm currently on vacation, and New York. It is about a matter of respect. Let me explain as we close this particular matter out, brothers and sisters. A matter of respect. As I walk up and down the street, and as I walked up and down the store when I was in a store called Walmart last night, and as I walk up and down the place where I'm staying at and so forth, I'm seeing the sons of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. For those who do know where I'm coming from with that, people from anywhere on this earth saying good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Now, I remember times texting, sending a WhatsApp message, or doing certain things like that. And it's not to shame New York, as I put in the description, as a quote brother in the understanding of Israel. Good morning, have a good day. It's too early for that. That's New York style. That doesn't seem to be the style down here, say, and I'm not saying everyone in the South or in this state is like that. Trust me, I'm not saying that. Nor am I saying everyone and up north is just mean-spirited and can't say good morning. I'm not saying that in a broad brush stroke. But what I am conveying is this. I remember people telling on me to other people or saying to me, it's too early for that. If you can't say it's too early to say good morning, then you can say it unless your morning just ain't good. If you have a reason to not do that, then that's your problem, brother, sister, elder, or child. Because the upbringing I come from, it would be when one child speaks to the other and the other did not respond, the parent would sit there and say, you got something wrong with my son or daughter? That you didn't open your mouth and speak? We all know, north, south, and east and west, that when you enter a place, you speak, and it's respectful to speak back. This is why Yah say you should not bear grudge against the children of your people. So, brothers and sisters, what do we want to point out in all of this in closing out? It is never too early or too late to say good morning or good night. Sisters, if a man is saying good morning or good night, it does not mean he's asking to be carnal with you, or in the biblical term, to get to, quote, know you. Like it says, and he knew her and she became with child. That's not, good morning does not imply that. It means you have a good morning. Brothers, just because a sister may say good morning and smile does not mean she wants to be your wife, first one, second, or third. It's just simply saying good morning. It's just simply wishing you a good day. So with that, brothers and sisters, have a good day, and hoping and praying everybody as well and will be better. Shalom.